Good morning, our viewers, and welcome to our today's discussion. It's been quite a busy day since we produced the last video. However, it was in an effort to collect the final information and critical analysis of what basically is happening and what is likely to be the outcome of this 2022 general election. Today, I've prepared a very comprehensive discussion on why I think Raila Amolo Odinga will win this election within the first round. According to my analysis, it is a clear indication that this election will end with the first round. However, before we go into nitty-gritty things and an assessment of what I've prepared, I want to take this opportunity to thank those who have been following on my discussion. And for those who are viewing this video for the first time, I want to request you to subscribe to the channel so that anytime we are doing such a video, YouTube is able to update you on time. I have been forced to travel up country so that I am also able to participate in the election. And therefore, in the process of traveling, I carried out a research along the way. I met a number of people, and in our discussion, I discovered a number of things. I think these are part of the discussion or part of the issues that I've covered in my discussion that are likely to make Raila Amolo Odinga to win this election in the first round. So, going straight away to our discussion, I would say when I was traveling, I met a number of people also traveling. I went to the bus station and the country bus and other places where people normally board commuters, buses or vehicles, and discovered very many people who are traveling. But the most shocking part of it was when I was passing across the Rift Valley, and I realized a very big exodus, a mass exodus of people from that region. And in our discussion with the people, we got to maybe understand it from one or the other perspective. That one aside, why do I think that Raila Amolo Odinga will be able to win this election in the first round? According to this day's discussion, Raila would have a landslide in the first round. I know most of you will be shocked to hear me talking of a landslide, but my research has given me 7 reasons as to why I think Raila Amolo Odinga will be able to win this election in the first round. Number 1 on my list is the women factor. If you look at Raila Amolo Odinga campaign, at large, he really involved the women. Women were largely inclusive in Raila Amolo Odinga's campaign. And it gave an impression that this is a real person who is doing things with a lot of honesty, because from the beginning, he has been able to involve women in his campaign. And therefore, the promises he gave to women, the majority of the people or of the population are taking it positively and seriously, and they believe that he will be able to do this, owing to the fact that his deputy, his running mate, Martha Karua, is a woman. And therefore, when you look at the voice of women, when you look at the attitude that the women have today on Raila Amolo Odinga and his campaign team and his campaign at large, it clearly indicates that the votes which IBC has projected, the women vote is at around 40, between 35 and 40% are going to be highly or to be largely taken by Raila Amolo Odinga. Reason number 2 why Raila Odinga will win this election in the first round is the body language. When you look at Raila Amolo Odinga in his last press conference, you must have discovered something. Apart from the crowd that he was able to pull at Kasarani, you must have also realized that his body language, his communication language, gave a perception of somebody who is confident, somebody who knows what he's talking about, somebody who has already psychologically taken the whims of power. And I'll take you back to the discussion that was there at one time when they were carrying an interview for the running mate. When this interview was being carried for the running mate, you must have discovered that from the onset, as soon as the interview were over, Martha Karua was talking with a tone of showing someone who already knows what is happening. In fact, if I can quote the words of Martha Karua, I remember at one time Martha Karua saying that she's willing to support anyone who will be voted or who will be appointed, anyone who will be elected or who will win the interview for the running mate. However, I can tell you that Martha Karua knew very early that she was the running mate. So these sentiments that she was making in this open discussion or in this rally were just a message to make people believe that whatever the result, she's going to stand with Azimio. But she had already known that she was the one who had been pointed out, or the one who had passed the interview to become the running mate for Raila Amolo Odinga. The same happens with Raila Amolo Odinga in that when you look at the way Raila Amolo Odinga is talking, he's trying to set a trap to William Samoei Ruto so that Ruto can be able to accept the verdict. Some people may give it a different approach, but according to my observation, the sentiments by Raila that if I win, I will shake hands with Ruto. And if I lose, I will also seek to shake hand with William Samoei Ruto is a very sensitive statement that is telling you this guy already knows the result of the 2022 general election. Unlike his competitor, William Samoei Ruto, who did not mention anything to do with losing, he's still in denial. When you look at the two final rallies that were held at Nyayo Stadium and Kasarani, you must have realized that while Odinga gave his opinion on both aspects, that is winning and losing, Ruto, on the other hand, was still adamant that he may not lose and is going to win by all means. Number three, why Raila is going to win this election within the first round is the High Court ruling. A few days ago, the High Court ruled that the manual register must be used within the polling station. I've been able to go around a number of polling stations, and in my observation or in my research, I've realized that the manual register, apart from the one that will be presented, the names have already been printed and various polling station and number of the polling or the stream number, and people are able to identify their names in advance to prepare for the voting. In fact, what I realized when I interacted with people in this polling station is that what they were now discussing was not about who to vote for at the presidential level. They were now discussing whom they were going to vote for at the constituency level and at the county level. So from the observation, it was very clear that the presidential vote or the presidential person they were going to vote for, that one is completely sealed. The manual register will provide an opportunity for Raila Amolo Odinga to track the number of people who are going to vote and be able to avoid any or to block any chances or any chance of vote rigging. Number three, why Raila is going to win this election in the first round is Ruto's body language again. I looked at Raila's body language. I also want to talk about Ruto's body language. When you look at William Samoei Ruto, he presents himself as somebody who is under siege, somebody who is under pressure, somebody who does not know what he's going to tell his people after 9th. And as a result of that, he seems to be in a situation that would, in summary, he's under denial. And he has made a few press conferences of late. And the latest press conference was when he was pleading and trying to indicate that the government is planning to switch off electricity, the KPLC is going to conspire with the government to ensure that people are not able to follow the tallying, which is not true. And this was clarified by the Minister, Monica Juma. William Ruto has even gone a step ahead to write to the ICC, complaining of government threats to his supporters, which may hinder the general election. What William Ruto is doing is just trying to create a situation that will give him a platform to go to the Supreme Court to contest or to appeal against the result of the 2022 general election. Another, in short, before I move to the next point, what William Ruto is playing a victim card, so that when people will be seeing the result, the people should be able to accept that William Ruto has failed because of what he had pointed out at the beginning. Another reason why Raila Odinga is going to win this election in the first round, as I said when I was starting this discussion, is the mass exodus that are being witnessed in the Rift Valley. Most of these people had registered in the Rift Valley as voters. And as things stand today, they have started moving because they don't believe that there will be peace. They don't feel they are at peace with the area they are at the moment. So most of them feel it's better to go up country, it's better to rush to a safety place rather than staying here, because even if I vote for this person and he does not succeed, they may turn against me. And this has been disadvantageous to William Ruto, because it simply means that Ruto is losing a number of votes in the Rift Valley. The votes are very critical, considering that this election, in one of my videos, I said the winner may not be able to get 50 plus 1. And even if he gets to 50 plus 1, he may not go past 50 plus 3. That is the highest. So the little percentage of people who are moving from the Rift Valley is going to affect Ruto largely in this final election. Another reason why Raila is going to win this election in the first round is that, in my research, I've also discovered that majority of the people who support William Samoei Ruto, are the youth. And when you look at those youth, you sit there with them and discuss, they will tell you that they are in support of the Hustler Nation. But in terms of the elector's card and the voter's card, most of them lacks the national ID, most of them lack the elector's card. So the numbers remain on paper, but practically on ground, Ruto does not have the numbers that are going to beat Raila Odinga. Lastly but not least is the plan by Raila to tame Chebukati. Raila has done everything beyond everything that he could to ensure that he has been able to tame or to contain Chebukati. If you look at the beginning of the process of preparing for election, Wafula Chebukati appeared to be very hard and appeared to be very tough. He appeared to take a stand on the issue of the electoral process. One, the issue of the photo of the running mate to appear on the ballot paper. Two, the issue of the manual register. And three, the other day you saw the issue of the Venezuelan and the Form 34S booklet, which had been printed in duplicate, and the stickers that was supposed to be used on the Kim's kit. However, after the DCI intervened and they showed Wafula Chebukati every evidence to show that this was a masterminded plan to destroy or to mess up with the election, it appears that Raila Amolo Odinga has been able to thwart all the plans by Chebukati to rig election on behalf of a specific individual. And therefore, when you look at the process up to now, Wafula Chebukati has totally hibernated. It's not being seen anywhere. And the stage is set, and you could tell that apart from the military, the people who is working with are very keen following what he's doing. And therefore, these are the 6 reasons as to why Raila Amolo Odinga is going to win this election in the first round. In summary, as I've said, this is going to be a first round win for Raila Amolo Odinga for the following reasons. Number one, the women factor and the women vote. Number two, the body language in the last rally that was held at Kasarani. Number three, the High Court ruling was a key factor in ensuring that Raila is able to win this election in the first round. Number four, I've talked about William Samoei Ruto press conferences, which already indicate this is a person that is playing a victim, and he wants to create a stage on where he would be able to tell his supporters, you see, these are the things that I used to talk about, and they're the one that has led to to this man winning the election. I've also talked about mass exodus that is being witnessed in Rift Valley and most of the parts that are perceived to be William Samoei Ruto's stronghold. Number five, I've talked about how Wafula Chebukati has been contained, and he has stopped from those press conferences that he was doing to ensure that he's countering every statement by the government to check and ensure on proper, free and fair general election. Lastly but not least is my research on the youth numbers, which I've said ideally the youth are many and they are the ones supporting William Samoei Ruto. But on paper, very few youth have the electors card and the national ID, and this is going to affect Hustlers Nation vote largely. Otherwise, I want to thank each and every one of you who has been following us up to this particular time. I will be able to do another analysis on the tallying of votes before the election results are announced, but mine is just to encourage each and every Kenyan who is having the national ID and the electors card to go out and vote wisely. Pick a leader that you want, a leader that has the best policy that you feel will be able to guide this nation to the next step. Otherwise, thank you very much, and let's meet in our next discussion.